Further member statements. The member from Beaches East York.
Well, thank you, Speaker. And I stand in the House today to speak about Franklin A. Lang, a trooper in the Elgin Regiment of the Canadian Forces, and his great niece, Megan, who's here today in the gallery. Now, Frank joined the Canadian Forces in 1942, just after he turned 18. He served Canada with pride during the Second World War, the Korean War, and during the Cold War in France. And unfortunately, Frank found life difficult once his service was complete, and he tragically passed away in 1977 at the age of 52, having never married, with no family to call his own. Fast forward many years, and Megan, with a young daughter of her own, began a scrapbook project to teach her about the family's storied military history, which is where she learned about her great-uncle Frank. She discovered that Frank's war medal had been issued but never received, and so she worked tirelessly with the Veterans Affairs Canada over many months, eventually having it awarded to her along with his service badge. And this was just the beginning of her search for Frank, whom she discovered was buried in an unmarked grave not far from his own parents in St. Thomas. And on October 31st of this year, thanks to her hard work, Megan stood with the family, some of whom she had discovered during her search for Frank, as a military marker was placed upon his final resting place. Megan continues her tireless advocacy in this area in the hopes of inspiring others to look into their own soldiers and find their own Uncle Franks. And I'd like to thank her for sharing Frank's story with all of us today and for her advocacy on behalf of all veterans. You are both shining examples of what it means to be Canadian. Thank you.
Thank you.